Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be inspiring you, you're welcome, to use the makeup that you already have. Makeup that is good, it's still good. You don't have to buy every single launch that comes out. You don't need to throw your money at Debenhams or at Sephora or at Boots. You don't need to. You've got lots of makeup that is amazing in your drawers already that you aren't using, if you're anything like me anyway. So today I'm going to be using nothing new. I'm going to be using all stuff that I have, that I love, that I have used a lot, in the hopes that it's going to inspire you guys to use and make the most of what you already have and not to keep spending your money, especially never beyond what your own personal means are. I think it's very hard on YouTube to be overwhelmed and to forget that a lot of the people we watch either have a bigger budget than us or they get sent a huge amount of stuff for free. So remember, live within your own means, purchase what you really need or want or will love and enjoy, and use the stuff you already have and love. I swear to goodness, every time I start filming lately, or not every time, but quite often at the moment, I am like filming and then I go to edit my footage and it's not there and it's just gone and I haven't pressed record. I mean, who does that? This girl. So I'm starting off with my MAC soft ochre paint pot, which I use like every single day of my life. But another thrifty thing I do, you can see this is like used to goodness, it's nearly all gone. And before I buy a new one, once this is all gone, what I will do is I will use up all the concealers that I don't particularly like under my eyes, and I'll use those as an eye base before I get a new one of these. Because as much as I love my soft ochre paint pot, I don't necessarily need it when I've got all these concealers sitting around that I'm not using because I don't like them under my eyes, but they will be perfectly good for eyeshadow base, and they're like a nice bright shade just like this one. So yeah, living life. I'm gonna set that down with a little bit of the matte maker from Maybelline again. Look at that big old hole. Been getting a lot of nice use out of this one. So I'm going to be doing a very simple, quick eye look today, and I'm going to be using some MAC singles. So I'm going to go in with MAC's Soft Brown first, which is the ultimate Barbie Dream crease shade. I'm just going to use that high up in my crease so that I can see this when I open my eyes. So I'm just going to use this right up into that like brow area up here. Been watching a lot of like Desi Perkins technique videos recently, and she uploaded one recently where she did a sort of everyday glam snatch look, and she did this technique where she used basically a warm crease shade and then a cool crease shade, and I was like, ooh, that looks perfect for every day. But I have to say my results were not the same as hers. But you know, I'm gonna keep practicing, It's just funny, isn't it, when you watch someone like Desi, who's obviously so talented and just had so much more practice than me, that they'll do something that looks so easy. And then when you come to do it, you're like, what the hell is this? This is not how Desi looks, you know? Why am I not Desi? Why am I not Desi? Now I'm going to use another MAC single, which is Brown Script, and then just a little smaller brush. I was using my Sigma E40 blending brush, and now I'm switching to my E25. I'm just going to deepen that up. So this is kind of like a similar shade, but it's basically like 1 or 2 tones darker. So it's just like a nice, rich, warm brown for the crease. Because it's so similar to that first shade we used, it's just really easy to blend in with it. Doesn't take much time. And then I'm going to use my Canvas E42 with that same shade just to really define the crease. And then finally I'm going in with my MAC 242 and the shade down here, the sort of bone shade, which is MAC's Blanc type. And again, you can see all the pan up in here. This is my like kind of everyday singles that I keep downstairs for like school run days. I'm just gonna pop that all over the lid just to tidy up where any shadow has travelled down here and make it nice and bright again. Just to define like the shape of my eyes, I'm gonna go in with my Marc Jacobs Blacquer eyeliner. I didn't massively get the hype on these, but because I bought it, you better believe I'm gonna use it because it was expensive. But I don't find it lasts as well on me as other people have said. For the everlasting waterline liners continues. I really like the MAC concealer ones for my lower lash line, my lower waterline. But for the upper one, I had high hopes for this and it's just okay to me. So before I do my lashes, I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Primer, still one of my favorite primers. I've actually used this so much that I now have to take the like top off to get it out. But when you do that, there's so much left in there. So make sure if there's an expensive product that you've really enjoyed that has stopped coming out of the pump, make sure you get in there. Because there's so much left in here. And if I'd just thrown it away once it stopped pumping out, sacrilege. Oh, it's so nice. I hardly ever use it now because I don't want it to run out, which doesn't make any sense. So now I'm just gonna whack on some of my mascara. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational, still unbeatable from the drugstore in my opinion. I just love it. I've tried a lot of drugstore mascaras this year in the hope that something will beat my Monsieur Big, but nothing has come close to this one. I feel like drugstore mascaras, the main difference is that they do only last a few weeks performing as you kind of want them to, or as they do when you first open them. Whereas to me, like Monsieur Big, Benefit Bad Gal Bang and Roller Lash, like my favourite high-end mascaras, they are great until they literally run out. They are still really good, whereas I feel like this mascara and the other drugstore ones that I love, literally after a few weeks, they completely go off. So for foundation, one of the oldest foundations known to man, probably. This is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear. It's been around for donkey's years. It is still in my top few foundations. I have it in the shade 24, which is like my winter shade. So I think it might be, I mean, it will be fine. It's gonna be lighter than my body because I'm not quite as pale as I am in the depths of winter, but it will be fine. We're gonna bronze, guys, don't panic. But this foundation is amazing. If you still have this, give it another go if you haven't been using it for a while. It has a really good shade range. It has great coverage, a really nice natural skin-like finish. It has great long wear. It has a nice scent. You know, if you don't like scented foundations, you will disagree. But it is nice, sort of soft scent. It's not like gonna kill you, you know, it's no Huda foundation, but it does have a nice, fresh sort of scent to it. It is very beautiful on the skin. It covers everything. You can have it like kind of a light to medium coverage like this, or you can build it up to full. It is amazing apparently on oily skin. I've seen lots of reviews saying, oh my god, it's the only thing that lasts on my oily skin. It's just got a beautiful finish and amazing wear. And it's like flashback friendly as well, so it is a great wedding foundation for anyone who's after one of those, or like events foundation, evening foundation. So for concealer, Shape Tape. If you have it, I still have it. This has lasted me forever because I'm always buying new concealers. And while I prefer the Too Faced Born This Way, and I definitely prefer the Huda concealer over this, it's still a great concealer. It's still a really nice concealer. So if you still have it, use it till it's gone. don't get conned into thinking that because you found a better one, this one is suddenly unusable. By the way, this is the shade light medium. This has lasted me so long, I can't tell you how long I've had that. But like I said, I do like to buy new concealers and try them out for you, especially for you guys. Concealers is one that's hard for me to like use up, unless like the Huda concealer, I'm obsessed with it and I just can't really reach for anything else. But I really do try to make sure with all these sort of products that are really good and that they do look nice, and it's not like I'm going to use it one day and have to, you know, come home early because of the state I look. They're all still really nice, really good products. Now I'm going to be using my Huda Pound Cake setting powder because I don't own a second powder. So although this is kind of new, the message is the same, is that I only have one setting powder because this one to me is perfection. But I used up my Patrick's powder before I bought this one, and I've used up my RCMA no colour powder, and I haven't repurchased anything because I've now found this one and it is perfect and I love it, and I will not be buying another loose setting powder unless it's obviously just to test it for you guys, or unless this one runs out and I want to try something different, which I can't see happening, to be honest. So for brows today, I'm going to be using my Benefit Goof Proof. I stopped using this for a long time. This was my kind of first go-to brow pencil, but then I found the Kat Von D and I found the ABH Brow Wiz, and I've just left it sitting there because I prefer them. But recently I've decided to go back to this one. Like, I ran out of my Kat Von D and it took a few days for a new one to come, because it's sort of, you know, it's that moment when you wind it up and you realise there's no more winding to be done, and it's horrifying. So I pulled this one back out, and while I do prefer the Kat Von D one to this, it's still a great pencil. And just because I prefer something to it, does it mean that this one is suddenly useless and unusable when it used to be like my go-to? No, it doesn't. So I'm definitely going to use this until it's gone, because that's how much I've got left. Not much. Use your products, guys. So for bronzers, one of my all-time favourites, this is the Too Faced Sweetheart bronzer in the shade Sweet Tea, although there's only one shade, so I don't know what's going on there. So this has the lighter and the darker shade, and it's a luminous bronzer. Just using my MAC 135, and I'm swirling both shades together. This is a gorgeous neutral toned bronzer, and it was my all-time favourite. I've got a huge dent in this, it's going to be hard for you to see, but I stopped using it for a long time, and one of the weird reasons is because it doesn't fit in the caddy where I have all my like compacts, because it's like really fat. It doesn't, you know, slot in, so I have to keep it somewhere different, and that just, you know, it is just a silly thing, but it's out of sight, out of mind, isn't it? I went to bronze till the cows came home because my foundation is so light for me. So I'm quickly just going to go back to the eyes and add a little bit of soft brown under the lower lash line. I'm going to use that Sigma E25. I'm just going to add a little bit of soft brown under there. So for highlight, Stila Heaven's Hue in the shade Kitten. This is like the putty highlight that everyone was going nuts for a while back, and I'm going to use my Morphe M335. You can actually use your sponge to apply this as well, which is a nice way to make sure it melts into the skin. The only thing about this highlighter is it does exaggerate texture, which is probably the reason I don't reach for it. But if you don't care about that, or you don't have as much texture as me in this area, this is a beautiful highlight. It's one I quite often travel with because it can't break, because it's that putty as opposed to being a powder. And obviously highlights are notoriously prone to smashing. I'm going to use my Zoeva detailed brush, the 238, to put this in all of the smaller places under my brown inner corner. Perfect. I'm just going to do another coat of mascara, and then I'm going to do my lower lash mascara as well. Ow. Try not to apply mascara directly to your eyeball. That's just a waste of product, if anything else. So for blush, I'm going to be using MAC's Coppertone, which is a lovely matte copper-toned blush, I guess. Dose of Colours blush brush as per the usual. This is just such a classic shade, perfect for this time of year, perfect for autumn and winter, and to be honest, any season. So it's a really gorgeous blush to be able to use any time of year because it's got that kind of peachy tones to it as well. It's like a coppery peach, but it goes with every look because it's very neutral. For finishing spray, I'm going to use my Marc Jacobs Remarkable Coconut Setting Mist. You can see how well I've done with this. And lots of people, I feel like they used this and they gave up because the spray nozzle doesn't distribute as fine of a mist on the first spray. So what I always do is shake really nicely, spray over there, spray the gym, then my face. So if you have a product like this that's a bit troublesome, but it costs you $1 billion, find ways to work with them. There's always ways, whether it's not like maybe like my concealers that I don't really like, use them as an eye base, a setting spray, you could, you know, decant it into a different bottle. So I could empty this into an old Fix Plus bottle, for example, to get some use out of it. Try and use, you know, products that cost you money, but there's a, you know, a slight issue with how you use it. Try and use them a different way, you know. So for lips, Spice Liner by MAC, a great investment liner. It goes with so many lip shades. It goes with nudes, it goes with pinks, it goes with browns. It goes with some reds as well. And an absolute classic lip. This is MAC's Velvet Teddy, the most beautiful everyday shade, every skin tone shade. And there you have it. That is the finished makeup look using all stuff that is not new, that is, you know, well used with a lot of value for money. I really hope you guys found this video useful and it's inspired you to use what you've got and make the most of the makeup we have rather than buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. Let's save some money and have a dig in our drawers and pull out stuff that we used to love that we've forgotten about and give it another go. I'd love to know what product you guys have that I've used today and what you're going to be pulling back out to give a try. Please come back in a future video because I would love to see you again. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.